We've made it to week number 15, and this time we have the Jacksonville Jaguars, who actually have a better record than us. They're 11-2, we're 10-3, but Isaiah, this dude is on fire. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If we check the league leaders, Isaiah has 1,814 yards and 21 touchdowns. So if you do the math, he's about a little less than 300 rushing yards away from breaking the all-time record. And from a touchdown perspective, he is 7 touchdowns away from tying LaDainian Tomlinson's 28 rushing touchdowns in one season. And as if you had any doubt, yes, Isaiah is the MVP frontrunner right now. We're 10-3, the Falcons and the Jags are both 11-2, but everyone knows Isaiah is the best player in football, and it's not even close. So before we head into today's game, we have an opportunity again to upgrade Isaiah's skills. We can go elusive, receiving, or power back, and look, the way he's been running, I think we want to increase his power back. We've kind of been focusing there recently, and I think it's paid off. He's an 88 overall there now, +2 to awareness and trucking, and +1 to stiff arm. Let's go show the Jags who the best player in football is. Look, this is a big matchup, but we're heading down to Jacksonville today in hopes that we can assert our dominance, because if we get pretty deep into the playoffs this year, what it looks like we're going to be doing, this is a team that we very well can meet in one of the championship rounds. So we got to make sure that we dominate them today, find out what their game plan is, shut it down, and make sure that when they play us again, they're so scared they won't even score for me. Blake Bortles has different plans today. Look, they're wearing the all-black uniforms. Rumor is it on social media, the Jags said, look, it's going to be a funeral. That's why they're wearing all black. But little do they know, Isaiah, he's got some pretty big plans, as we're going to try to go from wild card to division leader after this game. So Cleveland's going to start off with the ball, and what better way to set the tempo than to give the ball from Baker to Isaiah and just let him bounce off of a defender. Okay, Isaiah says, Miles Jack, you can't tackle me. Now keep in mind, with again 3 games left, including this one, all Isaiah has to do is average about 100 yards per game for these last 3, and the young fella's going to be golden. And the ball's on him quickly, and it's nearly picked off by Jalen Ramsey. Already struggling a little bit, 3rd down and 6. Baker in shotgun. Isaiah's going to be out here at halfback. Ball goes out to him. He's got some room here. He's going to outrun his blockers, which he's had a big problem doing, but he still gets the first down. With a new first down, Baker's going to go into center. Isaiah's back here, pass protection, not his strong suit, and Baker wasn't exactly strong on that play, and we get another injury, this time to our offensive line. I mean, as much as we want to throw it, we haven't had a lot of success doing it so far. So here on 2nd down and 10. Looks like Cleveland's going back to the run. Isaiah with a handoff up the middle. He's going to find plenty of room. Got a safety in front of him. He's going to make them pay, getting about 12. Another first down here, this time at the midfield section. Baker all the time in the world goes across the middle to David Njoku, who could have probably had a first down if he just ran a little bit more to the right, but still gets about 8. 2nd and short, again under center for Baker. Little halfback toss here to Isaiah. The juke back inside. Barry Church gets lost on that one, and Isaiah picks up enough for the first down. This is actually a solid start. Cleveland had that interesting part with 3rd down and 6, and you kind of wondered, would they get the conversion? But since then, they've been pretty good. Isaiah back here again, this time underneath to Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon's going to catch it for about 5. After a 5-yard completion, again, Baker's back here to pass. Good play action. Jags don't really bite forward too much. This ball's thrown way behind Baker. What are you doing? You're looking like E.J. Manuel back there all of a sudden. So we've had the ball for about 3 minutes now, but it's 3rd down and 5. I do not want a field goal, and neither does Isaiah. So Isaiah's running out. This ball goes out to the right-hand side. Beautiful route, beautiful throw, and that one is complete, getting us inside the red zone. Again, Isaiah's looking for his 22nd rushing touchdown of the season right now. He's back here at quarterback. Jags see a guy move in motion. Isaiah's going to take this one. He's going to try to run out of it, but he's going to get gang tackled in the backfield for a loss of yards the first time today. Even after that loss of yards, we're still in the red zone. So Baker's going to take the snap, goes back to the play action. Isaiah back to block. Baker's going to throw one quickly out here to Baldwin. Baldwin isn't going to go very far and only picks up 4. So here we go on 3rd down. We've held the ball basically the entire portion of this quarter so far. Even if we kick a field goal here, the Jags only have about 3 minutes left in the first. So Isaiah's out here running. He's going to catch that one. Finds his blockers. Isaiah says, let me get into the end zone real quick. The young fella gets in. It's a receiving touchdown. We'll take it, but oh no. Baker Mayfield is hurt on the play again. Great throw by Baker, but as you guys can probably see, he got lit up there. Isaiah gets in the end zone. But hopefully it's not a serious injury, because that could be devastating for Cleveland. Now Jacksonville does come down and they score, so it's tied up at 7-7. And the worst possible news, E.J. Manuel is back in the ballgame. But you know what? That's actually kind of good for Isaiah from a record standpoint, because he gets a lot of carries all of a sudden. Now we're starting the 2nd quarter, and we got a little bit of good news, is that Baker isn't out for the game. He may come back in the 4th quarter, but he sprained his Achilles. Isaiah says, look, you don't have to bring him back in, because right now, this dude is hungry for some yards. But Jarvis Landry now goes down. I mean, Carlos I mean, we've lost so many people. Coleman, Landry, just everyone's dropping. A lot of pressure on the line. We're going to let EJ Manuel throw it here again this time. Isaiah picks up the blitz. The ball goes across the middle, and David Njoku with a big gain. So far, so good. And even though Isaiah has that receiving touchdown, the dude knows that he needs rushing touchdowns and nothing else. Now, a good move here by Isaiah. The spin move trips him up a little bit, but he picks up 6. And losing Treader on the offensive line for the rest of the game definitely hurts us too, because that's one of our better offensive linemen that's been helping us so far this season. For Isaiah gaining massive yards, and he's out here again. This time, he's going to get taken down by Barry Church. So again, if you remember, Isaiah needs 7 rushing touchdowns to tie the record. He's going to need 8 to ultimately break it. Now EJ Manuel here in the play action, running around like a wild man, and EJ Manuel not helping himself or the team as he gets a bad sack. Now EJ Manuel's a little bit shaken up there, so coaches, look, Isaiah, go back to quarterback. We'll see what we can do with you there. Johnson's going to move over. Isaiah's got some room here. Isaiah's going out here looking for a block. He's got 2. Isaiah's going to go into the end zone. Rushing touchdown, number 22 on the season. He is only a couple away now from tying that record. It's looking like he might be able to do it, but he needs a couple more today to make sure it's going to be in sight. Now, our defense did their job, and we have a 7-point lead because of it. So Jacksonville here sees the clock ticking down. They want to get a big stop so they can get the ball back before the end of the half, or before the end of this half. And Isaiah says, you're not going to get it anytime soon. He's nearly at 100 yards already. Manuel here with Isaiah. Again, the play action fake's been working just because Isaiah's been running so well, but EJ goes for a quick check down, and we get a yard. Here in the I formation again, you see Isaiah go up through the middle. He's running himself a little pass around, but instead Jarvis Landry across the middle, who's back in the game, only had a quick little shake-up, and EJ gets his 3rd completion of the game. And look, I know, I give EJ such a hard time. He's 3 for 3 today. Hasn't really done anything too bad outside of a bad sack against Malik Jackson. So, you know, I'll keep my mouth shut for the most part. But honestly, with 2 major injuries so far this season, I'd be crazy if I didn't admit that Baker Mayfield has me a little scared that he might be injury prone. Nice catch there by Seth Duvall. We're going to see EJ again, this time pitching it out to Isaiah. Isaiah's got the room. He's got the jukes inside. He's running to 2 of his own guys. He's trying to get to the end zone. Isaiah's going to go in completely untouched, and the young fella says, don't mind if I do. 2nd rushing touchdown of the day, number 23 on the season. And yeah, that record book, it's getting ready to have Isaiah's name in it very soon. So the first half is in the books. The Jags know if they can shut down Isaiah, they have a chance. But if you ask me, they have 0 chance of doing the second half, as this dude gets stronger as the game goes on. Now, hold on just a minute. Maybe we were getting a little too cocky, because as you can tell, Jacksonville marched in the field. They scored, and they chewed up a little bit of that clock. But look at this, Baker Mayfield himself back in the ball game right now. And having Baker back in the ball game is really good news, because now the Jags know this is not a one-dimensional offense anymore. Baker can throw it, Duke can run it a little bit, so we're going to rely on him to show that here in the second half. Now Baker's out here throwing a dot to Queensberry, and he's going to hold that in for a first. And man, this game is having so many injuries. That's how we saw AJ Bouye for the Jags go down, so they're now a little bit short on corner. Handoff up the middle for Isaiah, literally all the room in the world to run, and he is just going to keep the chains moving. 18 big yards. I mean, honestly, if Isaiah walks out of here with 3 or 4 rushing touchdowns, that record I think is going to be easy for him to get, because he only needed 7 coming in today, and he already has 2. And the young fella is gashing this defense time and time again. 2nd and 4, Baker under center. Play action again because the Jags are falling forward nonstop. A dot across the middle. David Njoku, who is going to get dropped at the 1-yard line, which is bad news for the Browns, but good news for Isaiah. About 2 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter, lining up. You can see a little something's happening, but oh, the Jags are loaded at the moment. Will they fall for this play? Nice little fullback fake flip to Isaiah. 3rd rushing touchdown, and the young fella says, come over here, offensive line. You deserve this just as much as I do. Jacksonville has scored again. I mean, our defense was so good in the first half, and they've let us down for sure here in the second half. But you know what? We still got the best player in football, and that's all that matters. But oh, man, Miles Jack got revenge there. Little quick run across the middle. Didn't really work out for us there, so we're going to have to go back to the passing game. Baker again chilling. Throwing it across the middle. Oh, my God. Nearly intercepted at the last second. So we're here on 3rd down and 9. A lot of pressure right now. The Jags have got a lot of confidence, and we want to make sure that we can show them that we are the better team. And look at this. Lofted up to Jarvis Landry, and it's knocked away by Ramsey. There were a lot of people saying that could have been a penalty on that play on Ramsey, but you know what? They didn't call us, so we can't really look past it. So Jags score 35-28, and time is not on our side at the moment. Another great play by this defense. And after that play, Isaiah looked at the sidelines over to Coach Hugh Jackson and just stared at him and said, look, give me the ball. Put the ball in the hands of your best playmaker, and that's Isaiah. Now, Isaiah, unfortunately, doesn't live up to the hype there, and he loses 4 yards. Things are looking pretty tough right now. The Jags know if they stop us here, things just got really interesting, and a lot of pressure gets put on our defense. So here's Isaiah. This ball's thrown over here from Mayfield, and he just overthrows Landry by a step or 2. Incomplete, and 4th down coming up. So things got really tough all of a sudden. We only have 2 timeouts. Jacksonville is up 14 points. So we need to score, and we need to score like really, really quick. And then after that, we got to get an onside kick. So it might be an L for us after this game. A little desperation coming into play here. Play action fake. The blitz is coming. Isaiah picks it up. This ball goes to Jarvis Landry, who stumbles a little bit, and he gets down to about the 45. Now Cleveland used their second timeout right now. Only 1 left. Baker Mayfield out here across the middle time to Duke Johnson Jr. A nice completion, but it's not really doing much for us. First and 10 again for Baker and the Cleveland Browns. Across the middle, dicey territory there, nearly picked off. Got a 2nd and 10, and we're basically in what we call chuck it mode. We're throwing it non-stop. So Baker running around, and yeah, Isaiah was nowhere to be found to help that pass protection. You can definitely sense a lot of frustration from Isaiah. I mean, he put on a show today, but the defense just let this team down. So Baker's out here running rampant. This ball is nearly picked off by Myles Jack, and it's 4th down and a whole lot of yards. So here at 4th and 21, you got to go forward if you're Cleveland. It's just a matter of, you know, getting disrespected. This ball's thrown, and Josh Gordon actually caught that one. And then we get another Cleveland Brown injured using our last timeout. This game's not over, but it's looking pretty bleak. So Isaiah's out here running around. This ball's thrown deep. This one is going to be caught and dropped by Jarvis Landry right at the end zone. A lot of injuries on this team, but Cleveland is still trying to fight. Isaiah running the halfback wheel. Baker Mayfield's out here running. Throws a dot, and it's going to be caught, but out of bounds. So with 20 seconds right now, we're basically just playing for people's fantasy football projections. Little play action fake again. Make them think we're going to run it in a situation that probably has a chance to run it. This ball's thrown in crazy coverage. It is caught by Njoku, but only got 1 foot in. I can't even front there. If that had actually counted, that would have been one of the craziest touchdowns I've seen in a really, really long time. So 4th down. Obviously past the territory again. Trying to get 1 point on the board. This was thrown to Jalen Ramsey, the sassiest football player of all time. He's going to get tackled by Jarvis Landry, and that is going to seal the deal for Jacksonville. So the Browns are not going to get a dub. Things look a little hectic there for them, but they've got a lot they can learn from this game. So recapping the stats, Blake Bortles actually played extremely well. 300 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, a really high QB rating. Baker Mayfield, well, that injury probably hurt him a little bit more than we thought because he had a pick, about 50% completion rate, 1 touchdown, but just did not look like himself. And meanwhile, EJ Manuel looked a lot better in limited time and limited throws. On the ground, Leonard Fournette carried 26 attempts for 154 yards, 2 touchdowns, and that would normally be a really good game. But Isaiah went for 8+ attempts, 1 more yard, and 1 more touchdown. Kinda crazy for him. In the air, Keelan Cole had our entire defense's addresses. He just beat us home every single time. 10 catches, 124 yards, and 1 touchdown, and no one outside of Isaiah really had a lot of catches or yards for this team. The game against Jacksonville didn't go exactly how we thought it would. Isaiah balled out. He had a lot of touchdowns, had a lot of yards, but if those yards and those touchdowns don't translate to a win, well, does it really actually matter? The answer to that is no.